Now, I'm thinking in this direction. I'm not saying my thought process is the right one. Remember our rule on the show, and it follows the Constitution, hook, line, and sinker, and that is everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Even in the midst of plethora of evidence, you are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, right? So that's our rule on the show. So we're not going to badmouth, we're not going to say anything that is against the law. However, I am thinking that in Nigeria, when you are suspended from a political position, you hardly return to that political position. Now, there are notable examples. Onoge, the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, right? There is Ibrahim Magu, former EFCC acting chairman. There is, the former CBN governor and former emir of Kano State. There is, of course, the recent ones, Emefiele and Bawa. I can go on and on. Even though I think there are a few cases where there were suspensions. You can help me with such names. The one I can easily remember is the head of service at the time. I don't know if she's still the head of service during Buhari's time. I think she was suspended by one of the ministers, or is it an appointee of the president? And she cried out, and the president brought her back, and there was the back and the forth. Yeah, but in Nigeria, when you're suspended, you find it difficult going back to the position when it's politics. I don't know if the suspension is, done after there is good evidence against the person, and maybe that's the situation now. Because as of yesterday, it was trending that the Humanitarian Affairs Minister, now suspended, booked flights to the tune of, is it millions now? About 300,000 naira per person, thereabout, or almost that, to fly to Kogi State. And the arguments on social media is that Kogi State does not have a commercial airport. Now, they have two airports, not commercial. They're not commercialized. So commercial airplanes cannot land in those airports. Maybe private ones. I really have not done my research on that. I would not lie. However, they spent taxpayers' money going to Kogi State via flight. So that's corruption, according to arguments on social media. And maybe that's the evidence with which the president now suspends the minister. Innocent until proven guilty, remember, because she's still arguing for her innocence. She's still debating that she's innocent. So you want to look at it in that direction. However, I'd like to get your thoughts. I mean, I don't know what's up with the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, like I said on Friday, but it seems to be an eye of the storm. And it seems to be like the new cash cow. I mean, before now, it used to be, should I say NDDC? NMPCL? I mean, that's where stories of corruption used to pop up from. However, now it looks like Humanitarian Affairs Ministry, so many reports. We're waiting to see the outcome of the investigation by the EFCC on, the former Humanitarian Affairs Minister. And now that the president has suspended this current one and asked her to cooperate with the EFCC, I'd like to see the outcome, really. I'm waiting to see the outcome. By the way, some groups had called for the suspension. People like Serap had, talked stuff. I think there's another group. It was in our news bulletin earlier. I just can't remember. But hey, that's the first big story. So trendy that it had to take a lot of our minutes, right? But let's quickly move on to the next one. And the next one has got to do with the economy. Now, I'm gonna juxtapose two headlines together so you get a feel of what I'm trying to do on the show this hour. Economy, like I said. So you must have seen the report on the Punch. I actually lifted the headline from the Punch. If you're watching on Facebook, you must have seen that headline talking about manufacturers thinking about sacking their workers because naira has lost about 39% thereabout of its value since May 2023. I think sometime around that time. So in May 2023, May 29 precisely, was it June, when the president did the unification of forex, the different windows in the forex sector. Naira to the dollar rose from 400 plus to 700 plus. Now, towards the end of 2023, we saw it move to about 1,000 plus Naira in the official window. Now we hear it's fluctuating between 900, 800, and 800, 900, and 1,000 plus. I mean, we're not even talking about the black market. And the black market is, it's on its own, I should say. So manufacturers are now saying it's really difficult. It's really difficult still operating as if things are normal, because the dollar is affecting the manufacturing business and people may lose their job. And what that is for me is that it signals the possibility of a tough economy in possibly the first 2 quarters of 2024. I do not like to be a prophet of doom, but looking at this report, I cannot help but bring it to the fore so that you and I can look at it and maybe prepare our minds, or find a way to insulate our families and ourselves from, the possible harsh economic reality. Now, I, for one, I was hoping that, if the refineries would work earlier, than it's looking like it will take longer now. Maybe it would have affected these sectors of the economy, especially the forex part of it, and maybe things would have become cheaper, because if petrol is in huge supply at a cheap price, then it will affect transportation, which generally affects everything. However, we're still waiting and hoping. But while we're waiting and hoping, manufacturers are crying and they're saying they cannot afford the high cost of running a business. Now, of course, you already know the details that certain investors, foreign investors, had decided to take their manufacturing out of the country and decided to use here as a trade route, a distribution route where they could distribute items and people will buy it. Now, I saw another report where, it talked about, I think it's on The Guardian, talking about the federal government grappling with inflation, with, forex and some other things, and I think debt or so, I can't remember. And in that story, it says with the exit of some of these companies, it means that company income tax cannot come to the government. It also means that pay as you earn tax, payee, can also not go to the government. So the government is losing revenue, which is likely to be a problem for our economy in 2024. But you see, as sad as all of these reports are, I saw a report where he says, we also talked about it last week on Friday, where we talked about, the National Assembly jacking up the budget for 2024, and what they will get is bigger than what 15 top universities will get in Nigeria, right? Federal universities, to be precise. And we talked about it, we lamented and all of that. Now, one of the newspapers, or a couple of them, broke down what that money the National Assembly is getting will be used for. And guess what? Another 30 billion naira will be used for the renovation of the National Assembly. Yes, I said another because in 2022, thereby, I know one of the budget years in Buhari's time, we also earmarked 30 billion naira for the construction, or was it the rehabilitation of the National Assembly complex? And I know I talked about it at that time, and I did argue at the time. I mean, these are legislators. They need to have a comfortable. I was joking, I was sarcastic. I do not know, but yeah, I know I made such statements. Now, according to one of the reports I seen on one of the publications, the contractor was saying that, it's not like they don't want to even. Okay, you know what? No, we don't have a break. It's not like they don't want to finish the contract, because they haven't finished it since 2022, or was it 2021? The first, 30 billion naira is still not complete. The project still not completed. According to reports from those in Abuja, if you go to the complex, you will see, skeletal rehabilitation going on. And the contractor I don't want to call the name of the company, but the contractor said, or a member of that firm said, that the reason why the work is taking so long is because they are not releasing the money. So what happened to the 30 billion naira? Anyways, they have budgeted another one. So the total now is 60 billion naira for the rehabilitation of the National Assembly complex. They must be making golden laws at that complex. And it's no wonder they want to rehabilitate the complex. Or is it reconstruct it sounds like the refineries, When you think about it, it sounds a lot like the refineries. Rehabilitating it for God knows how long. Anyways, I'm wondering why now. Maybe indeed, I'm not an engineer. I'm not a structural engineer. But maybe they need to rehabilitate. Maybe, they're setting deficits to the building, so we don't see that building come down like the one in River State was brought down. You understand what I mean? So maybe they should handle the structural deficits. However, I'm thinking, I'm really thinking, is this the right time? Because we're talking economy and manufacturers can get by. The government is looking for money because as the companies are leaving and the people are not having jobs, they can't pay taxes. So the government would have to depend on borrowing again. It's a crazy, toxic economic cycle. And I'm wondering if our legislators who represent the people should be talking about structural deficits or rehabilitation of the National Assembly complex. But what do I know? Let's move on now to the next big story. Let's see. The next big story has got to do with a report that I saw, our in-house bulletin, saying that some travelers or scores of travelers were left stranded this morning as truck drivers blocked the Imbiama Junction access of the East-West Road to the Patani Bridge. So for those of you who apply that road, you will know what I'm talking about. So when you get to Imbiama Junction, from there up until the Patani Bridge, the truck drivers blocked it, and they have accused the NSCDC and its officials of extortion, very chronic extortion. So because my maternal family is from Bayelsa State, I usually would travel there, and once you get to Imbiama Junction, you see that checkpoint. Yeah, that checkpoint usually it's not police people that are there. I don't know whether they're community boys or they're employed by the federal government. I don't know. But you see them stand there and they stop truck. You see them stopping truck drivers and trying to get money. Oh, where's your ticket? Where's your this? Where's your that? Where's your that? And they try to obtain or waylay, whatever the word is, from these truck drivers. And then you move forward a little bit, just after the other entrance into Yenagua. There are two entrances. Just by the other end, you see another point where they stop truck drivers. Then when you get to Opokuma Junction, as if you're going to Patani or Delta State, you would see another one where they stop. My goodness, in that small stretch of the road. And they have all of these big planks that they put on the road to stop the truck drivers from speeding by. But now I'm hearing that NSCDC officials have joined the mix, and according to the story, that they go to I don't know, I'm not the one who wrote the story, but what I'm seeing from the report that I'm seeing before me, they say the NSCDC officials suck out the diesel from the vehicle. So that means they take pipes, hose, and you know how you used to do when you want to turn petrol from the jerry can into your car. And this time they turn it from the tank of the truck into the jerry cans. And then they claim that diesel is adulterated. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. And you see, since the president listens to Nigerians, an example is the Better Edu situation. Since the president listens to Nigerians, I do think maybe you should hear the cry of Rivers people. And maybe that's why the truck drivers have decided to block the that's actually east-west road, so it can cause a lot of panic, and so people can maybe post it on social media and all of that stuff. However, I do think also the NSCDC and Rivers State should be investigated. This is not the first time. Remember that I think they changed their last boss not too long ago. Was it last year? Was it the year before? I think it was last year, when also I think certain tankers were seized with petroleum products inside, and after a while the petroleum products were missing. And so I remember that story. I don't know if I remember it vividly, but I do think that NSCDC, both in Rivers State and Bayelsa State, should be investigated. Take a listen.
Agoro boys, they see the beat drivers anyhow, collect the money. If he say by Mbiama, one checking point there, where they're collecting money like 15,000 naira, 20,000 naira, without receipt. That's all those who are paying.
That is in terms of if you load diesel or they load fuel. Now, you get receipt. If they show you the receipt, I say that fuel is fake, you don't get information. And they are acting out of information. So that they are fake. They will go check.
All right, so there is corruption happening. I mean, 15,000 naira. Wow. Oh my, why wouldn't we buy petrol for an expensive price? Oh, my goodness. Let's move on now. I'm going to open the phone lines. I want to get your thoughts. I want to hear what you're thinking. That's what makes the conversation an interesting one when you call. No, I mean, it's not about me. I always tell you. That's why sometimes when you ask me about my opinion, I tell you it doesn't matter. It's not about me. It's about you calling in and telling me what you think about what we have reeled out for conversations. And I've reeled out 3 stories. Yes, it's the big stories for today based on what is trending and what has been published by the news platforms. Yes, 3. Number 1, Better Edu, Humanitarian Affairs Minister, suspended by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency. Second big story, manufacturers say they fear they might have to sack people because Naira continues to lose its value. However, the Senate are thinking of renovating their complex, or the National Assembly, the complex, with 30 billion Naira. By the way, still looking at the Senate, there is the controversy concerning the palliatives given to them. They say they haven't received it, but that's a conversation for another day. We're still investigating. And the third one has got to do with the NSCDC being accused of corruption. The Indiama Patani stretch of the East-West Road. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. For WhatsApp messages, send your messages to 0809 030-6416. I love to hear what is on your mind. But I see certain messages dropping on WhatsApp, so I'm going to quickly read some. Remember, we are live on Facebook because we are audio visual. Nigerian Info PH is the handle. We are live on YouTube, Nigerian Info PH, and we are active on X. You and I can interact, Nigerian Info PH as well. Good afternoon, Canada. The former governor of Rivers State should. That's not my topic. Moving on. This one says, "Hi, Canada. Where were you yesterday morning? Didn't hear you on Nigerian Info. Better Edu. When will you and the ilks of the Ziani Madweke and co stop disgracing womanhood? Thank God we have Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Dora Akunyili and co flying the honest women's flag. We have honesty genes as women. Areguba IC. But about Clinton, and Clinton is calling from Bori. Clinton, welcome on the show. What is on your mind?"
A very good afternoon to you, Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
In this same Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, we had one Sadia Farouk. That was the former minister. Now we have Better Edu. I don't do gender. I don't do gender discrimination, and I will not use that as a yardstick. Now, the former minister said something about exit package for beneficiaries of Empower. And I tell you, look at the Empower from that time up till now, nothing has been done about that. And I believe money has been appropriated for that.
I think so too.
Again, This ministry is a very important ministry for the government of Buhari and the government of Tinubu because it's for poverty alleviation. And the funds are meant to be used to lift the downtrodden in Nigeria.
Okay.
Talk about the traders' money, talking about the Empower scheme, talking about other traders' money. Then you use this money on your own. I think, before there's a suspension in Nigeria, I believe the allegations are weighted because we don't even suspend people. Yeah, a government official that is being alleged that to have done one or two, not resigning. That's what we're doing in this country. But before they suspend you, that allegation must have been very weighty. And I'm calling on the government to ensure that other ministries, not just the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, is properly investigated because there's a lot of corruption going on in this country, and that is why the citizens are not getting what they're supposed to get, even when how was that put it now? The mindset of the government is just for the people.
All right.
It's very important. Then, the National Assembly again, in 2020, I think, used 7 billion naira to renovate the NAS complex in that their budget. Today now, 30 billion naira for renovation. Canada will have ailing areas of the economy. There are no roads. The education is bad. The power system, there's no light in Nigeria. High rate of inflation. They're talking about people losing their jobs. What people-oriented law have the National Assembly passed that puts food on the table of the common Nigeria? Or they keep on getting all these SUVs, getting it's really unfortunate, Canada. I think things will change.
All right, thank you very much, Clinton. I've got to let you go. Ida from Nkoro, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Hello, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
I greet you specially.
I greet you as well.
As individual to renovate your own office, I believe the way they say for house where you park where you don't stay before. You know, you put the house, put your own test. You don't got that kind of man to renovate house. Our National Assembly made them think of what they do. You know, good. Our money where they have to all to say.
All right.
Made they contribute the side. Renovate those. Made they leave our money alone.
Thank
you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Robin from HA. Welcome. What is on your mind?
Canada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
There's a piece of material that was released in 2012.
Okay.
That talks about, the title is Walangolo, and it talks about every day that they thief Abuja.
Oh my goodness.
Every day that they thief Abuja.
Okay.
Every day
they
thief Abuja.
Okay.
Sheep they come, sheep they go. Some of them they carry water come. It's the level of corruption that takes place in Abuja is alarming.
Okay.
The annoying aspect of this thing done by this minister, better I do. She didn't have the effrontery to explain that she approved the payment of such money in the tune of 580 something million naira to private account against all laws of this land.
Yeah.
It's a funny and you see, Canada, I feel bad each time we talk things like this. That is why I kept on saying that we're like a conquered people. With impunity, and this payment was released on the 20th of December. And you are explaining. Because nothing happened to them. If they take them to court, the judge will grant them bail. They say it's misfortune. When a young man steals there, they call it stealing. Section 390 will apply. But those who have offices to manage the welfare of our country for us to live well, they call it misappropriation. It's a pity. Let's see how it's going to end.
All right.
We should start reshaming and limiting them. All
right. Yes. Good afternoon to you, Robin Marja, the farmer. Let's take Victor from Owerri's call. Victor, welcome. What is on your mind? Tell me, please.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you, Victor.
Please tell that man that just call if he's a conquered man, not among those that are conquered.
I've told him 1,000 times. I've told him that, but welcome.
So, what I want to say this afternoon is that there's a saying that planning to fail is playing to plan.
Okay.
Why am I saying this? Because that we don't have good economic team. I can remember this APC-led government that when they were campaigning against Tinubu, and they told us that they were going to revive the economy, but today the reverse is the case.
Okay.
Look at when you go to the bank, you cannot have access to your money because with dollar limit. Nothing is working in this country. So I think that if they know that they cannot be able to do this job, they should just carry their bags and go and let people that are capable come and do this job.
So Victor, you're saying they should resign their position since you think they cannot.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Look at the way we are living. You can't have access to your money, no money in the bank. And then when you go to PS, it's a different story before them all together.
Victor, pause. Now, just because that will be part of our conversation for today, are you saying in Owerri there is the naira scarcity? You can't find cash anywhere. Is that what you're saying?
It's not only in Owerri, it's everywhere.
No, I want to know where you are. No, Victor, let's speak for where you are. I am where I am. I can speak for where I am, but I can't speak for Owerri. So in Owerri, is there cash scarcity? That's what I'm asking you.
There was no cash anywhere in the bank in Owerri.
Okay. All right.
Last week I was at the bank to make withdrawal. There was no cash.
Okay, that's what I wanted to find.
In fact, I don't know where exactly we are going from here.
All right.
The government has killed the economy.
Okay. All right.
And we don't have good economic things. That's the problem we're having.
All right. Thank you very.
We can't continue that. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you very much, Victor. We can't continue that way you say. JJ from Port Harcourt Township, welcome. What's on your mind?
Bro.
I agree with you. Good afternoon. What's on your mind, please?
Afternoon. Okay.
It's afternoon. Sun's still shining.
It's on this Edo suspension.
Okay.
But in a funny word, Alada. When Beta Edo started work, she said she uncovered some money in private account. That money was supposed to be for Empower people. I don't know if you remember.
I remember. I think it was on Channel TV. Oh, JJ.
There's this song that What a Wonderful World.
Yes, it is.
The same Beta Edo is now the one that approved 500 and something. How many?
500 plus million.
Paid into somebody's account.
Yeah.
When she was the first to discover money in somebody's account, which was wrong by our definition or description, and she has to return the money and said, and I quote, that the money has started going to the people who those money are meant for. I don't know any of the Empower people, but please, if you know you have gotten your money as a result of that money that was found in a private account, please let us know.
Empower people say they have received just 1 month. They were being owed, was it 10 months or 1 year?
The money they discovered was for like 8 months.
Okay.
Maybe
about
I don't even know what
10
I'm
months
doing anymore.
Okay.
But I tell you, we are just a funny people. And I also learned one headline now, breaking news, that the former people,
EFCC,
the former one,
Umar Farouk,
landed in the EFCC.
Yeah.
But my problem, even with the EFCC, is like they loot whatever was looted that they recover and all those, because those money, I don't know. But for me, I think.
Now, JJ, EFCC has said that when they recover looted funds, they return it to the CBN. So they return it to the Treasury single account. So I just said I should let you know.
What about those ones they accuse Lamode? What's his name? The one that accused. You remember Lamode now?
I remember Lamode.
The Senate declared wanted, and he came back and challenged the Senate president after then that is back. That is there anybody to talk about that thing? And everybody was mute till they left office. Can you do that, bro?
No, I can't.
So as far as I'm concerned, I think these people can do better than this. And conclusively, manufacturers saying that they want to sack people, and National Assembly want to use 30 billion to renovate NAS complex. I wish everybody well.
All right, thank you very much.
When one can solve one and everybody will go well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Zion from GRA, welcome, Zion. What's on your mind? Please tell me.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Zion.
This mindset of blocking public road in this country, to me, we should stop it.
Okay.
It looks so primitive. You are infringing the rights of innocent Nigerians. Why don't you take your grievances to the National Assembly? Better take it to the NSCDC office and shut down their office.
But Zion, I thought we all agreed that protest is legal and is a human right.
So you block or infringe my right? Am I part of your protest? Am I part of your agitations?
But you know what they also say: if you keep quiet when it's happening to Mr. A, when it happens to Mr. B, Mr. A will not talk as well.
Must you force me to talk? I don't want to.
Okay.
Now, on the issue of manufacturers, this is a serious problem. This is not job cuts. This is job loss. Job cuts will still have the hope of survival. But job loss, there is no hope. I want to reiterate. All narrows down to the dollar. Is it not so?
Yeah, something like that. Related.
Canada, I, Mr. Zion, have the solution to this problem.
Okay, tell me about it.
Which is not only going to wake up the naira, but also is going to be a source of revenue, job creation for Nigeria.
Okay.
And you will see everything will come to normal. It took only just one day for Mr. President to stifle the Nigerian economy. Only one day, 24 hours. Everywhere was locked. It can also take just one day, 24 hours, to loosen it up. It's just one policy. And I'm challenging the central bank governor where the solution lies. That is where the solution lies. He should rise up to the occasion. He should know that what is going on in this country, it is beyond just talking. If we don't give the solution, we don't know what. I can't guarantee the next 24 hours. I cannot guarantee it. Bills are increasing. All
right, Mrs. Zion, I guess.
Bill is increasing, transportation is increasing. It might also affect house rents. Also come, go and check tariffs. It's also affecting tariffs. Just one 24-hour issue. We'll solve this problem.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Zion. I've got to let you go. I've got Braid from Transamadi. Braid, welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Yeah, greetings to Mr. Batipo.
Yeah, greetings to you. Welcome.
Yeah, concerning this, for me, the truth is that our investigation, I does not see anything coming out of that investigation.
Okay.
Already, money has been transferred into private accounts. What is that money doing in that private account? Is that account government account? Look at the Empower program.
She argues that you cannot pay for certain items with government account because it's a central account, the Treasury single account. So she has to ask for the money to be transferred to a personal account, and then from there, the money will be distributed the way it should be distributed. I think that's how she argued it, in that light somewhere.
Before she sent it to that private account, is the Accountant General of the Federation aware? Is the President aware? Or she just get up one day and send government money into a private account?
But you see, she cannot just send money without the people responsible for that ministry. That's the Ministry of Finance, to be aware of it. So I do guess they are aware. However, I do not know. I'm not a lawyer. I do not know what the law says, concerning that. However, some people say she has breached the law, and so yeah, that's what it is.
Stella Odua.
Yes, I do.
Matter. What has come out of that matter?
They were in court. They were in court at the last time I remember. I do think
that's the problem we have. Now, Mr. President cannot prosecute. The court will always prosecute. And at the end of the day, look, Canada, if it is a common man that stole foul, since he could have go to jail, they will tell you that he should go to jail and serve 20 years concurrently. But when it happens to this big man stealing billions of naira, at the end of the day, will be given a fine of 100 million. and they will say, go and see no more. And that is why corruption is engulfing any government that comes to power.
All right.
Look at our president who said he has removed subsidy, and every month almost about 400 billion. Where is that money? And they keep borrowing.
All right.
Why there won't be corruption in his cabinet? Before you come to equity, you must come with clean hands.
All right, Braid.
Our president is not coming with clean hands.
Braid, I've got to go.
His cabinet will not be clean.
Okay. I've got to go now. Thank you very much, Braid. Real Gift from Port Township. Welcome on the show.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Good afternoon. Welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
You remember I've told you before that only those who work during the night understand the orders of the Spirit.
Yes, you've said so 1,000 times.
Now you see I'm now. The same minister that discovered money
has been discovered.
I mean, now, just like what they say, you reload the And that means she's not conversant with the activities of the night.
Okay.
Because I will come to early now.
Okay.
You understand my point? But for me, it's a good thing she has been suspended. Let's see how it goes. Because as far as I'm concerned, if indeed she did the wrong thing, let her go for it, Because we hear the other minister is with the EFCC right now to speak. Even last week we heard she was sick. Thank God that she recovered very fast. You understand my point now?
Yes.
As for the manufacturers, I think this is the angle government should look into. What are the challenges facing these manufacturers? And if you can give them soft loans of subsidy or whatever, let it be that they are afloat to a large extent for this number of workers to still be in jobs. Because imagine with a complex fire no good. The number of persons, just like I read this morning that the syringe factory in Akwa Ibom State also has decided to fold up also.
No.
The number of workers there.
Yeah, they are not folding. They're just, having job cuts.
Job cuts.
Yeah, they're just letting some people go.
Well, I'll allow you to go back and read more because the story I read is different.
No. The story you read, I've read that story, but I think I'm giving you reports from an interview with someone in managerial position of the company.
Okay.
They are not leaving, they are not exiting, they are not closing shop, but they are, letting some people go.
Okay, at least it's a good news. That's good news. So I think the government should make it full good news by intervening financially. Give these persons, either with this grant or give them moratorium on some taxes. So at the end of the day, they remain afloat. And look at these issues because if this number of people lose jobs and decide to go do fire, go make them survive. Imagine the environment, Chief K.
You have a point there.
Thank you very much.
Real gift. Thank you very much. You have a point there. Dave is asking, they are making golden laws, Abi Kaladam. But what do you want me to say? I mean, we're talking about how we can give value to the naira, and others are talking about how we can rehabilitate or renovate the National Assembly complex. And I'm wondering, is it because of the golden laws? Maybe. That's all I can think of. You see, just when we were celebrating that a young person is heading the ministry and things will get better, boom! Our celebration was cut short. Who do we turn to for help now? I would have mentioned God, but he's too busy with heavenly activities. Nigerians really need to drop this get-rich-quick syndrome. Mike from Thai. Like I said, let's not judge yet. She's innocent until proven guilty by a competent court of law. Greetings, Kalada. Better Edu suspension is in order. I also advise that the next humanitarian minister should be a man, since Sadiq Umar Farouk and Edu are facing charges. Nicholas Erasmus. Nicholas, that sounded very, what's the word now? Sexist. Really, I mean, are you trying to say women cannot head the humanitarian ministry because two people? Do you know how many men have been said to be corrupt in government? But have we ever said men should not be presidents and ministers anymore? But this one says, after suspension, what next? Are they going to prosecute her? We are watching. All we are hearing is Tinubu will do better. He will fix Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. Look at naira to dollar. Manufacturers threatening workers, etc. Tinubu should do the needful. Greetings, Mr. Canada. All right, Anna, thank you very much. God Day Temer says, 30 billion naira for the renovation of National Assembly is too much. That is a huge amount of money just for renovation, considering the poor economy of the country. God they tell me with that one. The suspension of the humanitarian minister, Mrs. Betta Edu, by President Tinubu is commendable, as the suspension came at the right time so that she can step aside while investigation regarding her involvement in financial crimes are carried out. Or is carried out. The bold step taken by President Tinubu is what former President Buhari lacked, as he failed to sanction members of his cabinet, while billions meant to alleviate poverty were diverted to few individuals. He saddled such responsibilities. All right, Victor Idiozu says, good afternoon, Canada. What kind of Senate do we have? How can they spend billions in renovation or renovating the assembly complex in the face of dwindling economy of the country? You would have to ask them. They are your representatives, right? This one says, in the spirit of fighting corruption, which is beginning from Betta Edu, please help us and tell Commissioner of Police Rivers State to pay us our election money from. I don't get election money. How? Commissioner of Police? Are you a policeman? I'd like to know. This says, good afternoon, Canada. Seriously, 30 billion naira to renovate a building when there are millions of citizens suffering, people losing their jobs on a daily basis. Oh, of a truth, Nigeria, in its current system and leadership, has failed. Successful judge from Comcom in the peaceful city of Oibo. All right, this one says, an American author by name Jeffrey Archer formulated the 11th commandment after the known biblical 10 commandment, and his 11th commandment states that thou shalt not be caught. Canada, the humanitarian minister has only committed the 11th commandment. There are many other ministers doing worse things than her, but are not caught. DK with that one. All right, let's see. Sitoka from our 3. Greetings, my KD. You are on my mind. Firstly, where's our refinery? Secondly, Nigeria is like a fatherless land. What is the difference between stealing and misappropriation of funds? We keep borrowing and keep misappropriating, yet we want to be like Dubai. I am tired of this nation. You hardly hear any good news in this country. Who did we offend, Canada? I think we should pray. But someone said, would God listen to us? I want to take Clinton where it says 60 billion naira to renovate National Assembly at the moment when Nigeria's economy is coming down on a daily basis. This is madness. This is outrageous. No, I want to tell it's not 60. I'm just adding it to the other amount that supposedly was budgeted during. I don't know. Is it that the money was not released? Was the money released? We don't really do a proper appraisal of our budget at the end of the year. So we probably don't even know. But according to the contractor, that the money was not given to them. So, like we say in our parlance, they don't die the money. This says, Edu's case is just like Stella Odwa. Well, it might just end up in court as usual, just like Stella. The good thing is we are recovering our money as we are told. Davidson. Let's see. This one says, Canada, good evening. The suspension of Betta Edu is like bushmeat catching the hunter. Joshua from Transamadi. And finally, let's see. Edu has disgraced the entire youthhood. Newton Ikira with that one. My time is up, so I've got to go. 30 billion is too much. Why not share the money to the masses? Priye Uruwari from Ogubolo. Wawu. Share the money, he said. Anyone who's surprised that the antics of Betta Edu is ignorant of how she handled her portfolio in Cross River State, you can only give what you have. How you handle a smaller office is how you will handle a bigger office if you're promoted. And that's coming from Anonymous. And this one says, why are people alarmed that 30 billion is to be used to renovate NAS when OT is using same amount to rehabilitate a 6.8 kilometer road in Aba? Ibu Fubara is my name. But I've got to go. It's 4 p.m. and it's time for the business news. When I come back, we'll talk about the politics, the political dynamic, or is it dynamics in River State? Stay tuned.